If you think you have seen unforgettable romance on screen, then stop right here, because what you are about to discover will completely change how you see love stories forever. And before you scroll away, imagine watching two people whose connection feels so real it makes your heart race and your mind replay every single moment again and again. So stay with us till the end, because you are about to relive the most breathtaking scenes of Wang and Esther you that fans around the world cannot stop talking about. And if you truly love romance, then this is something you cannot afford to miss. There is something rare and almost magical that happens when two actors step into their roles and create a connection that goes beyond acting, and that is exactly what happens every time Wang and Esther you share the screen. Their chemistry does not just tell a story, it pulls you into a world where every glance feels meaningful, every silence speaks louder than words, and every touch carries a wave of emotion that lingers long after the scene ends. One of the most unforgettable moments that fans constantly replay is the quiet eye contact scene where time seems to slow down completely. No dramatic music, no heavy dialogue, just two hearts communicating in the simplest yet most powerful way possible. Wang carries an intensity in his gaze that feels protective yet vulnerable, while Esther responds with a softness that makes the moment feel pure and genuine. It is the kind of scene that makes you hold your breath without even realizing it. Then comes the playful side of their relationship, the moments filled with teasing smiles and lighthearted banter that feel incredibly natural and unscripted. It is in these scenes that their chemistry truly shines, because it feels real, like watching two people who genuinely enjoy each other's presence. The laughter feels effortless, the reactions feel spontaneous, and the connection feels alive. These are the scenes that make fans smile uncontrollably and replay them just to feel that happiness again. But what truly elevates their chemistry to another level is the emotional depth they bring to their more intense scenes. There are moments where misunderstandings create distance, and the pain in their expressions becomes almost tangible. Wang delivers a performance filled with restrained emotion, while Esther Yu brings a raw vulnerability that hits straight to the heart. When they finally face each other and emotions come pouring out, it creates a powerful release that leaves viewers completely speechless. Another scene that continues to captivate audiences is the comforting embrace moment where words are no longer needed. The way Wang holds Esther Yu feels protective yet gentle, as if he is trying to shield her from everything, while Esther Yu leans into that comfort with complete trust. It is a simple moment, but it carries so much emotional weight that it becomes unforgettable. This is where their chemistry transforms into something deeper, something that feels safe, warm, and incredibly real. What makes fans return to these moments again and again is not just the romance, but the journey they take you on. Every scene builds on the last, creating a story that feels authentic and deeply engaging. Their connection grows naturally from curiosity to affection to something that feels unbreakable, and that progression is what keeps viewers emotionally invested from beginning to end. There is also something special about how their personalities complement each other on screen. Wang brings a calm strength that grounds the story, while Esther Yu adds a vibrant charm that lights up every scene. Together, they create a perfect balance that feels both exciting and comforting, and it is this balance that makes their chemistry stand out in a way that is impossible to ignore. Fans across the world continue to talk about their scenes not just because they are romantic, but because they feel genuine. There is a sincerity in their performances that makes every moment believable and every emotion relatable. It is the kind of chemistry that does not come around often, and when it does, it leaves a lasting impression that stays with you long after the story ends. As you watch their journey unfold, you begin to realize that it is not just about the big dramatic moments, but also the small details, the subtle smiles, the quiet pauses, the way they look at each other when they think no one is watching. These are the moments that make their story feel real, and these are the moments that fans hold on to the most. So, if you have not yet experienced the magic of Wang and Esther Yu, now is the perfect time to dive in, and if you already have, then you already know why their scenes are impossible to forget. Go back and watch those moments again, feel the emotions all over again, and let yourself get lost in a love story that continues to capture hearts around the world. And if this kind of powerful chemistry and unforgettable storytelling is what you love, then do not stop here. Make sure you follow for more incredible moments, more deep dives into your favorite stars, and more content that brings these unforgettable scenes back to life, because the best stories are the ones we experience together, and this is only the beginning. As the story continues to unfold, the connection between Dylan Wang and Esther Yu becomes even more layered, and impossible to ignore. What started as simple attraction slowly transforms into something deeper, something that feels unspoken, yet undeniable, and it is in these later moments that their chemistry reaches a level that leaves viewers completely captivated. There are scenes where distance separates them not just physically but emotionally, and this is where their performances become truly unforgettable. The tension builds quietly, every look carries questions, every silence feels heavy, and every missed chance to speak the truth makes your heart ache just a little more. Dylan Wang brings a controlled intensity that feels like he is holding back a storm, while Esther Yu expresses a delicate mix of hope and uncertainty that makes every second feel real and raw. One particularly powerful moment comes when they finally stand face to face after being apart, and everything they've been holding inside begins to surface, not through loud declarations, but through the way their voices soften, the way their eyes search each other for answers, and the way their presence alone says more than words ever could. It is a scene that does not need dramatic effects, because the emotion itself becomes the center of everything. Then there are the quiet healing moments, the ones that often go unnoticed, but leave the deepest impact. These are the scenes where they sit together in silence, sharing a sense of comfort that feels earned through everything they've been through. Dylan Wang shows a gentleness that contrasts beautifully with his earlier intensity, while Esther Yu radiates a calm warmth that feels like home, and together they create a space that feels safe and genuine. Another unforgettable aspect of their chemistry is how naturally they transition between emotions. One moment they are playful and teasing, and the next they are deeply vulnerable and sincere. This fluidity makes their relationship feel real because it mirrors the way emotions shift in real life. Nothing feels forced, nothing feels exaggerated, everything flows in a way that keeps you completely immersed in their story. As their journey progresses, the stakes become higher, and the emotions become stronger. Every decision they make carries weight. Every moment together feels precious, and every separation feels like it lasts longer than it should, and this is where their connection truly proves its strength. Even in moments of doubt, even in moments of fear, there is always something pulling them back to each other, something that refuses to fade. Fans often find themselves rewatching these scenes not just for the romance, but for the emotional experience it offers. It is the kind of storytelling that makes you feel deeply connected to the characters, as if you are experiencing every moment alongside them. The joy, the tension, the longing, all of it becomes something you carry with you even after the scene ends. What makes this even more special is the way Dylan Wang and Esther Yu bring authenticity to every interaction. Their expressions feel natural, their reactions feel honest, and their connection feels effortless. It is this authenticity that turns simple scenes into unforgettable moments and transforms a story into something that stays with you long after you have finished watching. As everything builds toward the most emotional turning points, their chemistry reaches its peak, creating scenes that feel both powerful and intimate at the same time. These are the moments where everything comes together: the story, the emotions, the connection, and when it all unfolds, it leaves viewers with a sense of satisfaction that is both overwhelming and deeply moving. And just when you think you have seen it all, they deliver moments that surprise you again, moments that remind you why their chemistry stands out, and why their story continues to capture the attention of fans everywhere. It is not just about what happens, but how it makes you feel, and that is what makes their journey truly unforgettable. So if you have made it this far, then you already understand the magic that Dylan Wang and Esther Yu bring to the screen. Their chemistry is not something you simply watch, it is something you experience, something that stays with you and keeps calling you back for more. Now is your moment to dive deeper, revisit every scene that made your heart race, every moment that made you smile, and every glance that said everything without a single word. And if you want more stories like this, more unforgettable chemistry, and more scenes that leave you completely speechless, then stay connected, because there is so much more waiting to be discovered, and the next unforgettable moment could be just one play away. And just when it feels like their story has reached its most powerful point, something even more captivating begins to unfold, because the connection between Dylan Wang and Esther Yu is not just about the moments we see, it is also about the emotions that linger in between the scenes, the feelings that are never fully spoken, yet are always understood. There are moments where a single glance changes everything, where the air between them feels charged with unspoken words and hidden emotions. These are the scenes that make your heart beat faster, not because of what is happening, but because of what could happen. The anticipation builds, slowly drawing you deeper into their world until you find yourself completely lost in their story. One of the most mesmerizing aspects of their chemistry is how they make even the simplest interactions feel unforgettable. A brief touch of the hand becomes a moment filled with meaning, a soft smile becomes a promise, and a quiet pause becomes a conversation all on its own. Dylan Wang carries a presence that feels steady and grounding, while Esther Yu brings a light that feels warm and uplifting. Together, they create moments that feel both powerful and beautifully delicate. As their journey continues, there are times when everything seems uncertain, when circumstances threaten to pull them apart, and the future feels unclear. These are the moments that test their connection and reveal just how deep their bond truly is. The way they look at each other in these scenes carries a mix of fear, hope, and determination, and it is this emotional complexity that makes their story so compelling. Then come the moments of realization, the ones where everything finally becomes clear, where feelings that have been building quietly for so long can no longer be ignored. These scenes are filled with intensity, yet they are delivered with a softness that makes them feel genuine. Dylan Wang expresses a quiet vulnerability that adds depth to his character, while Esther Yu responds with an emotional honesty that makes every word and every expression feel real. What truly sets their chemistry apart is the way they create a sense of intimacy without needing grand gestures. It is not about dramatic confessions or overwhelming displays. It is about the small, meaningful details, the way they stand close without speaking, the way their eyes meet and hold just a little longer than expected, the way they understand each other without needing explanations. These are the moments that stay with you, the ones that fans return to again and again. There is also a beautiful sense of growth in their story as they move forward. You can see how their experiences shape their connection, how every challenge brings them closer, and every shared moment strengthens their bond. This evolution makes their relationship feel authentic and relatable. It is not perfect, but it is real, and that is what makes it so powerful. As everything builds toward the final stages of their journey, the emotions become even more intense. Every scene feels meaningful, every interaction feels significant, and every moment together feels like it could change everything. And when those defining moments finally arrive, they do not just meet expectations, they exceed them, creating scenes that leave a lasting impact long after they are over. Fans who watch these moments often find themselves pausing, rewinding, and watching again, not because they miss something, but because they want to feel it again. They want to relive that spark, that connection, that undeniable chemistry that makes Dylan Wang and Esther Yu stand out in a way that is impossible to forget. And even after the story reaches its conclusion, the magic does not fade. It stays with you in the form of memories, in the form of emotions that resurface when you least expect it, and in the form of a desire to experience it all over again, because some stories do not end when the screen fades. They continue to live on in the hearts of those who watch them. So if you are still here, then you are already part of this journey. You have felt the impact of their chemistry. You have experienced the moments that make this story so unforgettable. And now it is time to take it even further. Go back to those scenes that captured your heart. Watch them again, share them with others, and let the magic continue to grow. And if you want to keep discovering more stories like this, more unforgettable moments, and more chemistry that leaves you completely speechless, then stay connected, because this is not the end. It is just the beginning of a world filled with emotions, stories, and connections that are waiting to be explored.